great young quarterback coming to the league. I think he's gonna do a tremendous job for us. He's a great dude. I'm excited to have him on.
Jeudy's been pumped about Shedeur Sanders from day one and never hidden it, but now he's done with the neutrality and is going full on, dropping strong hints, and may have just confirmed Shedeur as the Browns' starting quarterback. But this has left heads turning for obvious reasons.
You got Joe Flacco, who's the veteran. You got Kenny Pickett. They drafted Dillon Gabriel. They drafted Shedeur Sanders. Has anybody stood out to you that's like, okay, this might be my quarterback. I might be starting with him. Have you noticed anything? Has anybody stood out to you?
I feel like we got a great. The biggest thing that I'm thankful for is just having four great quarterbacks. That's go out there and compete every day. That been doing their thing.
Come on with that.
They been doing their thing, man. Yeah, I'm telling you what it is, man. We got four great quarterbacks, man. They all been doing their thing for real. So I'm just, my job is to make it easy. Whoever at the helm, I'm just gonna get open for him and do my thing for real. I don't got no control over that, man. Whoever the coaching staff choose and whoever they pick to be the quarterback, I'm just make their job easier when they throw me the ball.
The Browns starting QB has been a debate for a minute, and looks to be even a bigger headache for the head coach. Everyone knows how stacked the position, and fans wonder if their favorites will be the starting QB. But with the offseason still on, everyone is still trying to guess and make sense of the situation to get ahead on the QB choice.
One, I think, just consistency just throughout the whole offense, and just a lot of moving pieces and a lot of stuff that I had to deal with when it comes to playing football, such as injuries, different quarterbacks each in every game, different coaching staff, so that's something that could really affect a wide receiver and his, but now that I got the opportunity to really, had a healthy season, being able to be that number one receiver, be that number one option, and be able to get put into a great position to be able to perform the way I've done. That's all the receiver could ask for real.
Jeudy claims he left Denver due to different quarterbacks every game and inconsistent offensive schemes. This sort of hinted at the Browns' current quarterback situation, where Sanders, Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, and Dillon Gabriel are competing. By emphasizing how QB problems affected him during his time at Denver, Jeudy tries to maintain neutrality and instead speaks on the importance of a stable QB choice in Cleveland, which includes Sanders.
Ju, you mentioned like when you're in Denver, there are a lot of moving parts. A lot of the quarterbacks in and out. You had a lot of offense schemes. Now it might be a similar situation. You got Joe Flacco, who's the veteran. You got Kenny Pickett. They drafted Dillon Gabriel. They drafted Shedeur Sanders. Has anybody stood out to you that's like, okay, this might be my quarterback. I might be starting with him. Have you noticed anything? Has anybody stood out to you?
I feel like we got a great. The biggest thing that I'm thankful for is just having four great quarterbacks. That's go out there and compete every day. That been doing their thing.
Come on with that.
They been doing their thing, man. Yeah. I'm telling you what it is, man. We got four great quarterbacks, man. They all been doing their thing for real. So, I'm just, my job is to make it easy. Whoever at the helm, I'm just gonna get open for him and do my thing for real. I don't got no control over that, man. Whoever the coaching staff choose and whoever they pick to be the quarterback, I'm just make their job easier when they throw me the ball.
But no matter how much Jeudy tries to cover his options by being neutral, many fans have dug up and followed the situation closely. And there's been a giveaway that Jeudy fancies Shedeur as starting QB. Back in May, Jeudy liked a comment that read, 12-3 is gonna feed families. A fan caught this subtle nod from Jeudy and made a post regarding this. Looks like Jeudy is going to appreciate that 12-3 connection on the field. Plus, Jeudy openly acknowledged he wants a QB that he's going to work with and be consistent with, which could just be all the confirmation everyone needed.
When we feeling confident and it's time to play football. So I'm excited for you. I'm excited for what you guys are going to do with Joe Flacco and Shedeur, Gabriel, whoever's at the helm. To me, knowing what you can do at the receiver position, you make everyone else's job around you easy. I've said that to you in person. I said it to you, before in general.
Apart from Jeudy, unnamed locker room personalities have also confirmed that Shedeur is reportedly going to be the starting QB. But not just Jeudy would love to see the newly drafted Shedeur as the starting QB. Others, including pundits and fans, believe it's most likely to happen.
Day one?
No, by week 8, Shedeur Sanders will be.
Judging by
that sounds right.
Judging by the ESPN.
I mean,
Cleveland
I'm dialed into ESPN Cleveland, so I'm watching this. I don't know what the hell those DBs
16
are
of
doing.
18.
Yeah, I think I only saw one interception from all the quarterbacks. So I don't know what
They're
this
dialing it
Ward and the boys are doing over there. But
Be careful. Be careful.
I'm reading tea leaves. I'm watching.
What are you talking about, Shrades? 16 of 18.
Jackson
16
Dart
touchdowns.
threw 3 touchdowns today. Like, be careful.
Never gonna happen.
Holy shit.
Better
Really?
not throwing them.
Put it on the bottom line.
Yeah, it is a lot better than not throwing. Good call, AJ.
I get it.
Jameis threw 10.
I've never, and I respect the hell out of all the beat reporters, but I don't remember us ever charting June minicamp
Be a pro.
passing stat. That's new.
That's attention to detail. This is what football knowledge has come to.
New.
Some of the veterans, how they talk to him, mic'd up, see what he's doing in the community.
Talk about Njoku there?
Joku, Mike that. You once you see, different little interactions and things like that, I know he has the talent. We'll see. It'll be a competition that usually brings the best out of guys, especially young guys. So I'm interested to see how that quarterback situation.
I've heard he's been outstanding in the building. And I don't know. There was never no one thought he was this like malcontent or like a bag. It wasn't.
That was the word,
That was kind of what was being said. That was kind of what was being said.
No. The pre-draft process was so unorthodox that he didn't go through it all like everyone else did. And I think there's a lot that we can look back on this thing, especially if he becomes a star in this league.
According to Mary Kay Cabot, she does think when camp starts today that he has a legitimate shot to be the starting quarterback. So in my life, kind of being around the NFL, 30 years of doing this talk show stuff, covering the NFL, having sources and reporting on it, I don't think there's ever been a player where there's a wider variance of opinion between the media and NFL executives. The media, myself included, saw him as a B prospect, a good solid in a very, very weak quarterback draft class, certainly arguable first-round prospect, maybe a second, third-round talent, but solid, good family, DNA, moved well, historically accurate.
Shedeur didn't show up to minicamp, but instead, he showed out. A name more famous for his father than his future. But what if the NFL got it completely wrong? What if Shedeur Sanders, the overlooked rookie with a chip on his shoulder the size of First Energy Stadium, is quietly rewriting the Cleveland Browns quarterback plans before a single preseason snap is even played? The league may have laughed when he slid down the 2025 NFL draft board, but no one's laughing now. Because behind closed doors, in empty practice fields and late-night film sessions, something wild is happening. Shedeur Sanders is making a real push to become QB1, and the Browns coaching staff is paying attention.
Shedeur, on the other hand, has gone from having the third best odds as the starting QB to being rumored as the first name on the list. Mary Kay Cat, a respected Browns insider, broke the silence, saying the good news for Shedeur is that he performed so well over the final 2 weeks of spring ball that he'll come back for training camp with a legitimate shot to compete for the starting job. Mary Cat openly admitting that Shedeur has quite a legitimate claim to the starting QB is quite crazy, knowing that some Shedeur fans see her as a hater.
Check out Shedeur's professional response when asked about his father.
Shedeur, you have incredible popularity. You're just starting your career. Why do you think that is?
Why do you think?
You like him.
Well, yeah. I guess that's what it is. I just be myself every day. I can't control what's external. I can only control what's internal. My dad raised me to do since I was like 5 years old. I seen it. I seen what he was able to do, and I have a lot of great resources and mentors, to keep me on the right track.
Shedeur is turning the tides and continuously proving haters wrong pretty much excites the fans. Shedeur on his way to a likely number 1 QB spot has come no surprise for many. However, others believe that it's down to the leadership, work ethic, and personality of Shedeur.
2025 NFL Draft came and went. One of the most glaring storylines wasn't about who went first, but who kept falling. Shedeur Sanders, once projected as a second-round lock by several analysts, slipped all the way to day 3 before finally hearing his name. And it wasn't lost on him. Sources close to the Sanders camp say the former Colorado QB felt blindsided by the fall. Teams that once courted him during the combine went silent. Rumors swirled that front offices questioned his competition level, his mechanics, or even the Sanders spotlight that followed him as Deion's son. But instead of making noise on social media or pointing fingers at the system, Shedeur did something unexpected. He got quiet. He got to work. And what's followed is nothing short of astonishing.
It's like he's doing the same thing. He's just not. It's just something about being able to see it, though, that changes the trajectory of what we think of a prospect. For him, though, I'm rooting for him to get out there and make an impact. Obviously, the preseason is going to be big for him. The joint practices is going to be big for him. And as long as he can pick up the playbook and make those plays.
You talking about Njoku there?
Njoku, Mike Napier. Once you see, different little interactions and things like that, I know he has the talent. We'll see. It'll be a competition that usually brings the best out of guys, especially young guys. So I'm interested to see how that quarterback situation.
I've heard he's been outstanding in the building, and I don't know. There was never no one thought he was this like malcontent or like a bag. It wasn't.
That was the word.
That was kind of what was being said. That was kind of what was being said.
No. The pre-draft process was so unorthodox that he didn't go through it all like everyone else did. And I think there's a lot that we can look back on this thing, especially if he becomes a star in this league and say, you could point fingers in a million ways. Not having a pure agent, not having, the workouts that everyone else did.
Many inside the Browns camp have described Shedeur as obsessed with learning and getting better. Some say he's been staying 2 hours after every scheduled session. Others claim he's holding impromptu film study nights with teammates at local Airbnbs.
Training footage began to surface. Grainy, late-night phone clips showing Sanders running routes with scout receivers, drenched in sweat under the flicker of practice field lights. Coaches described him as obsessed with learning the Browns' new offensive system under coordinator Tommy Rees. Some say he's been staying 2 hours after every scheduled session. Others claim he's holding impromptu film study nights with teammates at local Airbnbs. Whatever it is, it's working. Rees himself has reportedly told people in the building that the game is starting to slow down for Sanders, an unmistakable sign that the mental gap between rookie and starter is closing fast. His accuracy, sharpening. His football IQ, surprising. His presence in the huddle, growing. The developmental tag isn't just fading, it's being ripped off.
All these made Shedeur's good preseason possible.
You could have success in the preseason that does not translate to the regular season.
Absolutely.
We've seen it a million times.
We see it every year.
But here's what you can't do. Bomb in the preseason and have success in the regular season. That rarely, if ever, happens. So, cart before horse. And all of what you guys said, I agree with everything. There's one piece that I feel you've left out. I'll hit on that in a second. But this notion that, the Browns, that's it. They're railroading them. My God. Put your social media thumbs away and go get a life. You are outthinking this. You're trying to find conspiracy theories where there are none. Why in the world would the Browns take this kid to ruin his career? I would really like to sit down with someone who really believes that and say, okay, sell me that bill of goods. Sell me how it benefits the Browns to trade up and take a kid for the sole purpose of wrecking his career.
And for all the people that don't want him here, where would you like him to go?
Right.
Where else is he going to have this opportunity?
This is the place for him.
Shedeur has been putting in so much to get better and shut his haters off. But while Shedeur's claim to the starting QB role has been getting applause, others believe Shedeur is not good enough and won't be utilized by the Browns.
Jason, late in yesterday's show, you mentioned some of Jimmy Haslam's comments about Shedeur Sanders and how you felt like it was being twisted into a story that it never was intended to be. And after you said that, I got flooded on Twitter with questions of what exactly did Jimmy say? What is being twisted? So I did some research and I found that you were very right. People were taking some of these comments, in my opinion, way out of context, saying that the Browns may have drafted Shedeur to try and intentionally tank his career based off what Jimmy said.
So stupid.
So what we're going to do is
that right there might be the dumbest thing I've heard in 5 years.
So what we're going to do is play the entire
you aren't kidding.
clip from Jimmy Haslam's press conference. Question, answer, question, answer. It was the only part that was related to Shedeur Sanders. I have put the question on the video so you can see word for word what the question is because the reporters aren't mic'd up.
Right.
You can hear Jimmy fine, but this is a minute part of Jimmy Haslam's press conference from earlier this week on Shedeur Sanders and the Browns' thought process in terms of drafting him. And then I'm very curious to see how you guys took what Jimmy Haslam said and whether or not it aligns with some of these conspiracy theories. This is Jimmy Haslam from earlier this week.
We haven't talked to you since the draft. So can you explain why the Browns felt that they needed to draft Shedeur after drafting their quarterback in the third round and adding 2 guys?
Well, I think that's really more of an Andrew question, okay? But I think, what was that pick, 146? We thought he was good value at 146.
Jimmy, there's been kind of like a national narrative that you were the person who forced the Shedeur pick, or maybe he was, people have called it. What would you say to that?
Yeah, listen, we have good process, okay? And if you'd have told me, let's see, we picked him on Saturday, right? Friday night driving home, y'all are going to pick Shedeur, I would say that's not happening. But we had a conversation early that morning, and then we had a conversation later that day. I think we had the right people involved in the conversation. At the end of the day, that's Andrew Berry's call. Andrew made the call to pick Shedeur. Just like who's going to start or what play we're going to call is Kevin's call. But that's Andrew's call. He made the call.
This follows criticism from the press and pundits regarding his draft episode. However, the meltdowns and criticisms won't stop, and neither will Shedeur.